There, everybody. I'm Verna from StampinNotes, and welcome to Monday Simply Stampin' in the Meadow. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in rural western New York State. I live on a farm. I love all things country life, and tonight I have three kind of country life cards to share with you. They are fall flower garden cards. Lots of times with fall, we think about pumpkins and squash and produce, and there are those beautiful end of summer flowers too. So tonight that's the feature um, for the cards. And if you're on here, let me know, say hi, and tell me where you're from. We had also, if you comment and share, you'd be put into a drawing to win some of the new red and green adhesive back pearls, and they're really pretty. It doesn't show good on the camera. The red ones are up in here. These are like a soft blue, silver, and gold, and they're adhesive backed, so they're really cool. So comment and share to get into a drawing for that. And so I want to also tell you about Sweet Notes Card Club, and that is registration ends for that tonight. And you're going to make 8 cards of 4 different designs, 2 of each. And what comes in your package is everything is pre-cut for you except the designer series paper, which you're going to get in your included product. And but all the die cuts are cut for you. The cardstock is cut, embossing is done, and it includes $25 worth of product. This month's $25 worth is the Cottage Wreath stamp set, which I'm not sure. I think I've got it right here. Let me grab it and show you too that. No, I don't have it right out here, but I thought I did, and I don't. But it's a beautiful stamp set with wreaths and sentiments for different times of the year. Also included are 24 pieces of the beautiful cottage, Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper, 6x6 pieces, and front and back patterns, beautiful paper. Also, a PDF tutorial, a video tutorial, and priority shipping are all included, and it's $42. If you're interested in that, email me at vernastamps@gmail.com, and I'll also put a link for registration in the comments below. And also, don't forget, it's Perfect Partners. Dies have been released and are on sale while supplies last. So if you have any of these stamp sets and you don't have the dies for it, you might want to scoop these up before they are gone. Apple Blossoms dies and the Apple Harvest bundle. You can buy the bundle with the newly released dies. Excuse me, couldn't get that out. Fresh cut stems dies that go with the fresh cut flowers, which is in the annual. Well, actually, it might be in the mini catalog. The Playful Piggy dies, which go with the Playful Piggy stamp set, or this birthday piggy, and the Trimming Tree dies that go with Trimming the Tree. That is in the annual catalog. You save 50 or 10% if you purchase it as a bundle. It would be nice if it was 50%, but it isn't. Margaret, thank you for commenting and sharing. And the waterfall dies, the Waterfall Canyon bundle, the dies have been released to go with that. There's a lot of neat dies here. And the Yeti dies that go with the Yeti to Party stamp set. So, and also going on this week is one of the September weekly deals. This week, the Texture Chick Memories and More card pack is usually $10 and it's $8. We also have the Texture Chick Memories and More cards and envelopes, and they are beautiful. They're usually $12 and they're $9.60. Rose Gold 12x12 Designer Series paper. Trinket Adhesive Backed Flowers. They're usually $9. They're $8.10. soft succulent satin shimmer ribbon. I do not have that. I would like to get that. Also, slimline envelopes, white frayed ribbon, snowy white 12 by 12 velvet sheets, real red mini ruffled ribbon, and that is really pretty. I do have that. The soft pastels assortment are on sale, and the fresh freesia open weave ribbon. So lots of goodies there. And you can shop at my online store at StampinNotes.com. And that is where my blog is too. So let's get going. And hello, everybody. It looks like Rosalie. Hello, Rosalie, Margaret. And first card we're going to do is a fall flower garden card featuring the Ranunculus bundle. Actually, I'm just using the stamp set. So let's get started with this card. And the supplies for these cards will be posted on my blog with the measurements in case you missed them and you want to catch that. So we're going to start. I used early espresso on this one. I'm going to start with evening evergreen on this particular card. I'm just looking from my phone folder. So I grabbed my most used one here, and we're just going to burnish that down. And to save time tonight, I have, pre-cut everything because there's 3 cards here. This is die cut with this scallop contour dies. And I thought I brought those over to show you. Let me see if I can figure out where I put them. I'll probably come up in a little bit, but not only this rectangular shaped, scallop shaped, rectangular shape. I can't talk, and I haven't been drinking. But it has been a long day. Anyways, so this shape is also cut with a scalloped contour dies, as well as this nice scalloped edging here. You can see it better if I open it up. There's a long die in that die cuts that, and it's so pretty. And then we have a piece of very vanilla cardstock that's going to fit right in here like this, and we're going to work on stamping this first. And I'm going to use my watercolor pencils. I really haven't used them that much, but I discovered they are very fun to use and relaxing. Okay, Rosalie, I will add you to this month's Sweet Notes Card Club. I will put you down. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp an image in Sahara Sand. And Sahara Sand is like a very neutral color. And what I want to achieve by doing that, instead of stamping it in black, is I want hardly any lines to show with the image. So I've got my Sahara Sand stamp pad. I'm grabbing the Ranunculus. This is the Ranunculus Romance stamp set. And my block. Oh, yes, I would love to have you come to class at the Legion in October. That's our first Saturday class. And our next class is the 22nd, which is Thursday evening. And it's at 6:30. We're going to make 6 cards, 2 each of 3 different designs. And it is free with a $25 purchase or $20. And Margaret, I can't wait to meet you in person. Okay, so I want this to be really light, so I'm going to stamp off first. There it is. And now I'm going to stamp it on my cardstock here. Okay, so that it's very light. You see how light that is? I'm going to bring in my watercolor pencils, and I want an orangey fallish looking flower. I'm going to start with, this is crushed curry, and I'm just going to start coloring it in, and I'm not trying to do a perfect job because we're going to take the blending pen and move these colors around. We're going to blend the colors. So there's my crushed curry yellow. I'm going to put a little crushed curry here. And on this one, in the center. Now I'm going to bring in pumpkin pie. And I'm going to add some pumpkin pie to this. Kind of in like the deeper parts of that flower. So I want it in here. I'm going to put a little bit on the edge here. Some on the outside there. And now I'm going to add a Calypso Coral. More of that orangey color. I was surprised how warm it is. I've been inside working all day and went out to grill some burgers, and my goodness, I couldn't believe how warm it was. All right, now here's where the magic happens. We're going to take the blending pen, and these you can use and reuse, and they have I don't know what's in them that makes the color blend, but that's what it does. It blends colors together, just like that. And you can push it to where you want it. Sure, Margaret, I'd be glad to send the packet to you. Okay. All right, so we've got our flower colored in, and now I'm gonna take the green, and this is Old Olive, and I'm gonna do the stem here. This one needs to be sharpened. It's getting pretty dull. I'm going to add another green to this. And really, it's the blender pen that brings it to life, brings the colors to life. I'm going to grab my other green. And this is Granny Apple, so this is a little bit, well, usually they're pretty dull, but I think it's best to have them like not really dull and not really sharp. I'm just going to add a little bit of the highlight of the Granny Apple green to that. We're going to bring the blender pen in. Now what you want to do is you just wipe off the color, the previous color that you used. Wipe it off the tip. And I'm going to go in and blend those greens together. I think this is really relaxing to do. I would enjoy it like when I'm watching TV, sitting at night. Okay, so I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to cover this up. And now what I'm going to do is I made a little mask. I want to stamp this writing image over that. So I'm pulling out my stamp set, and in here is this mask. It is, I just stamped the flower image on Post-it and then roughly cut it out, Post-it paper, so it's a little bit sticky on the bottom there. And I'm taking this image that's writing, and I'm going to put it on my block. I have a huge block over here and I need a smaller one. There we go. Right, and I'm going to use crumb cake. And I want it kind of light, so I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to cover this before I get my fingers into that. So I'm inking it up. I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to come and stamp over that. Stamp off. So we're going to have it looking like this. And there. So it's to the very top there. All right. So it's kind of a antique-y look there. All right, and now I'm going to stamp hello down in the lower left of that. We have a mama pig who is having trouble having her piglets, or we think she is. It's hard to know. So we're hoping she has them tonight. Mac's down helping her. Oops. This is the one I need. Okay, so this is early espresso ink. It's a very dark brown. I better stand up to do this. And there's hello. The background, crumb cake is the background inked color. Let me hold it up so you can see it better. And this is early espresso. Okay, so we're gonna layer this onto here. Whoops. We need our end off the tape runner. Okay. And this fits right inside our little rectangle here. And again, the measurements will be posted on my blog. All right, I'm bringing my card base back in. Oh, one more thing on this. I want to punch a hole, like as if it were a tag up here. And I'm going to run some of that silver threaded twine through that. This is really bulky, so it's not like great for tying bows. But I'm going to tie a knot. And there we go. And grab my scissors. Well, hello from Alabama. Nice to have you here, Pat. Down south. Very cool. Although it's probably not literally cool. I have never been to Alabama. I would like to go there and see it. Okay. Now I don't like the way that's going up like that. So what I'll probably do is take a glue dot and um, hold that in place. I'm going to put it right like that for now. Let's set this aside a minute. We're going to bring in our designer series paper. And there's that one. And here's this one. And I'm going to layer it on the front just with a little bit of an edge, probably a quarter of an inch there on the side. And this is the Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper. All right. And this is going to go on here like this. Okay, and so we've got like a little bit of edge showing here, and we have this much showing here. This is going to go on the inside, and this is the same Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper, a different pattern. Same color, but a different pattern. I love gingham. So what is your favorite fall color? Mine is probably like orange or Cajun craze. I love actually I love natural fall colors in my home. Browns and greens and all those kind of outdoorsy colors. All right, so we've got that done, and this is going to go on the front like this. I am not, this thing's bugging me. I'm going to retie that. Let's go this way and see if it helps that. There, that's better. Okay, and I can put that down with a glue dot. You could bump this up with dimensionals or a foam, sheet of foam. Margaret browns and oranges. Yeah. Pat, you're in the 60s first thing in the morning. We're heading to fall, but have a ways to go. What is your daily high right now? I think our high today was probably the mid 70s. Okay, so now I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to see if I can adhere that baby down. Rosalie, I have your glue dots and I have your team time packet, and I'm going to try and drop it off before work tomorrow in at your house and your box. I'll text you in the morning. We had team time. We were supposed to have it at my home Saturday, and we're having a wall connect put in, which saves on your electric, and it's like a geothermal something. And so my downstairs was like, and it's still torn apart from it. All right, guys, can you see that? How pretty that is? Oh, you're working tomorrow too. Yeah, you had 74, Margaret? Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to add a few of the champagne rhinestones here. And you can hear things falling on the floor. Okay. First day of school was last week. And my grandson Sam, it was his first time at school. And then he rode the bus with his brother Levi. We have 13 grandchildren, and they're each precious in their own way. Okay, so, and then I will have the measurements for this inside piece to fit right in here. This is very vanilla, so I would use very vanilla there, but they'll be posted on my blog. Thank you. Okay, so there's that card. So our next card has the vintage bottle dome in it. And we're going to start with a piece of basic black. This is 8.5 by 4.5. And again, we're featuring fall flower garden cards. Okay, and I'm going to pull this down just a little bit closer. Sorry about the moving of the phone. I have a piece of the Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper. I really love this. I think I'll put it this way up. And I'm going to burnish this again. And we're going to come back to that in a minute. I have a piece of very vanilla cardstock that's 5.25 by 4. And I'm going to stamp my flowers on it that I'm going to die cut. Oh my goodness, it fell on the floor. Okay, I rescued that. All right, so again, I'm using the Sahara Sand ink to stamp the image because I want it to look like, I don't want the black lines to show. And I'm going to stamp, I'm using the Nature's Harvest bundle. Oops, I just got my hand in ink. I'm sorry about the glare. You guys are probably familiar with this and the dies that go with that. And I have the large stamp. I want these flowers here. I'm not going to use the stems, but I want the flowers. And I'm going to ink that up in Sahara Sand. We had 4 fire drills. Oh, those were the days. Rosalie, remember when we had fire drills at the library? Rosalie and I worked together at school's library at Alfred University. And Rosalie was a director's secretary. And I was a cataloger and managed archives. And we were good friends. We still are. We walked together all the time at lunch, which I'm not walking as much as I used to. Okay, I'm using these pencils again, the watercolor pencils. I want these are cone flowers that grow in the fall, and I have some that are called tomato soup. They're like an orangey red. And that's what we're going to make these, or try to make these. And I'm just going in where the yellow is, and I'm bringing my blender pen in, and I'm going to move that around a little bit. I love cone flowers. One thing I like about them is the deer don't seem to bother them. And I want Cajun Craze. And I'm just going to go on one side of the petal with it like this. There we go. And I'm doing the outline here. I'm going to come in with my pumpkin pie. I'm just filling in. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to the edges or anything because I'm going to move that color around with a blender pen. Just getting the color on there to work with it. Yes, we were each other's sounding board. And this is Calypso Coral. So we've got 3 different colors here. And so now I'm going to take the blending pen. I'm wiping off old color here. I'm going to come in and I'm going to blend that color and pull it up and down to where I want it. Has anybody here done much with the watercolor pencils? I think I'll do more with them now that I know better how to use them. Okay. So I'm going to add a little more red. This is, well, actually, this is the Cajun Craze. I'm just going in and marking it a little bit stronger. And bring the blender pen in and pull that around a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one here. Okay. I'm just kind of doing the outline of these petals, and they're kind of hard to see. Okay, and marking them a little bit, adding a little bit of the Cajun Craze. It doesn't look pretty yet. We'll go in with some of the pumpkin pie. Now I'm not going to use the full length of these. I basically want the blossoms and a little bit of the stem. So in one leaf. We'll finish filling these in like that. All right, and so I'm just doing the top part. The stem's down about that far. Because the rest of it I'm going to cut off in a way. And I want this leaf right here. I'm just going to go do the outline of it. Fill it in a little bit. I'm going to take my Granny Apple Green and fill in a little more color with that. Now the blender pen, and I'm just wiping it off. And pull that color, blend it together. Excuse me if I miss your comments. I'm trying to read them, but I might miss some of them. Okay, so can you see the color? I don't know if you can see the color blend in there or not, but I'm going to cut out, fussy cut. Now, there are dies. I could use the die, but I'm just going to go ahead and I have the dies. I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut these out that I want. All right, so there's the leaf. I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to pull that off. And I want, you should try to move your paper rather than your scissors when you're fussy cutting. Has anybody done any canning or pickles or anything? I know my mom did zucchini relish, which is like our favorite. It has cucumbers and zucchini, peppers, onions. I use that a lot. I even use it in like my potato salad and macaroni salad. Okay. And we're just going to cut up to there. I want that off there. One year, a couple of years ago, my mom and I decided to can potatoes. And we worked, and my granddaughter McKenna worked with us. And we did quite a few quarts, but we could not get the lid on the pressure canner to seal. And we did not dare keep them. We ended up throwing them, and I've got to get a good pressure canner. My son did potatoes and sweet corn. Okay, almost done here, and then we'll come to the fun part, the putting together part. You can't do any canning, Margaret? Oh, you made dill pickles. I was thinking about doing pickled beets. Okay, so we've got our little flowers here that we want. And the other thing that I got that I already die cut were some, looks like kind of wheat or, where they are. What I lost in there a minute. Or grass. And I did die cut these in crumb cake. It's a really long die and I don't want the length on it. It's this die here from Nature's Harvest or Harvest Dies. So they're going to be pretty short. But before I cut them, I'm going to bring in my blending brush. And I had some suede. I don't want early espresso. Okay, here's soft suede, and I just want to make these a little darker. They're kind of stuck together here. And usually I will rub off the paper and then put it on, but I want these fairly dark. Like that. And then we'll bring this one in. Oops. Just like that. Okay. If you decide to place an order with me this week, this is the host code 6BNKAMRY. If your order is $50 or more, I will send you a pack of the festive red and green festive gems as a thank you. You have to use the host code. All right, we're going to put this on here. First, I'm going to punch it with our vintage bottle punch. And we're going to put this in all the way down and center it. Trying to look over the phone and through the, there we go. Okay. And then I have one of the vintage bottle domes. Looking for it somewhere over here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so these are cool because they had adhesive here and adhesive here. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel this, move this out of here a minute. We're going to peel this off. The other thing I want to do is bring in a piece of paper so you guys can see better without all the distraction of all the ink. All right. So I'm going to peel this top one off. Maybe. There we go. And I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to put this over it. Just like that. We're going to turn it over. And we're going to put some sequins in there. I'm grabbing my sequins. Okay, I've got these, but I think I want to use the white ones instead. And they're both in the annual catalog. Thought they were on my chair over here. Look, one more spot. Huh? I'm not seeing them, so I'm going to use the green ones. Well, hello, Mom. That is mutual. All right, I got them out to use, and I don't know what I did with them. Anyways, we're going with green. I'm a little disappointed, but we'll go with it. I'm putting quite a few in here. And you want to leave your backing on until you get them in here because they will stick to it. And then you won't be able to get your cardstock over your backing. All right, so this is about 2 by 3 and it's crumb cake. And I'm going to peel this off. I'm just going to put this over this like that. All right, so we have our little bottle with the sequins in it. And now I'm just going to take and I'm going to start adding these above it. You just want the short version. Okay. So I'm using my Tombow glue for this, and this is the same Stampin' Up's Tombow glue. It's just in a different bottle. I like this bottle because it comes out thinner and it lasts. I can get more use of all the glue. Lots of times I don't get to the bottom of the Tombow glue bottles, if you guys know what I mean. Right. So I don't know if you know, but I used to work at a flower shop. So sometimes when I'm doing something like this with flowers, I feel like I'm back at BK's in Castile. Kind of fun. I loved working there. Loved working with Sharon at BK's. She is still there. Okay, I'm going to leave this last one. All right, I'm going to start building where I want my flowers. Let's see. I think we want this guy this way. And there's going to be a bow up here hiding some of this. This one I want shorter. Like that. So you could use dimensionals on these on the back of the blossom. In fact, I might on this one. Here's my dimensionals. I'm just going to put one on there. Pop that up. Actually, I want that a little shorter. And this one, I think I want it down farther. And we definitely want to pop this one up. Okay, so we've got our posies. This could come up a little farther probably, but I'm going to leave it where it is. And I'll put this down tag. All right, so there's our little bouquet. Now I'm using the gingham, black and white gingham ribbon. Don't you love this ribbon? I just love it. I'm gonna do a bow. And I don't know, do you guys do bows with a fork? I've seen some people use a fork to do them. I think that would be cool. I know some people have like a bow maker too that they use. All right, and we're gonna cut those off. Bring in a glue dot. I think I want it right here. All right, so there's our little bouquet. And I think these should have been a little higher on this one. I'll show you the other card I did. They're a little higher. I think it looks better. A little higher. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Just like that. And we need a little wink of Stella on those flowers. We'll just paint a little shimmer on them. And that needs to be glued down. All right, so I'm not crazy about, oh, I forgot the leaf. That will probably help. No. All right, so I don't like, I think I'll bring the bow up here. Let me show you the other card I did. Here it is. So this is what I should have done. I should have brought the flowers up more on this one, like this. That I like really well. This is too short. Still usable, but too short. Hey, Chris. Oh, I know. Facebook is funny sometimes. So this is the way you want your card to look. You want the flowers to be up a little higher, like that. All right? But I did show you the process to get there. Okay, so our last card, we're going to do some heat embossing. And this is on basic white. It's 8.5 by 5, or sorry, this is very vanilla, 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4.25 is our base. And what did I do with my bone folder? Okay, we'll just take this. This is the brush to the new embossing kit. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a brush and these cool tweezers. And there's an embossing, hold your glitter. I'll bring it over in a minute and show it to you. So I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is 5.25 by 4. And also an embossing buddy comes in the embossing kit. And you wanna use your embossing buddy always before you emboss. It will keep static, takes static away, keeps the powder from going in places where you don't want it to be. And I'm using the Daisy Garden stamp. It's a very large stamp, so I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this. I'm gonna lay my cardstock on here like so. My magnets are like sticking pretty good. Oh, come on. There we go. So I'm going to take my stamp, and this is in the annual catalog, this stamp set, and put it on here the way I want it. There's not much room to lay the magnets, but there's a little spot there. I'm going to put the plate down and lift it back up. Okay, thanks, Margaret. Oh, there it is. Yep. Oh, okay. I'm taking Versamark ink, which is a clear ink. Sticky, very sticky. And I'm just going to ink this up good, like that. All right, and we're going to go down and stamp our cardstock. And we're going to just press that really good to get a good image. Okay. And then we're going to take these off here. Try not to touch this too much because it's a big stamp and it's on most of the sheet. Okay, so this is the embossing tray that goes with the embossing set. And I'm using gold embossed metallic embossing powder. It's in the set of embossing powders that is labeled as metallic. And what's cool about this tray too is that there's a little opening in the bottom. I'm going to tap this. Okay, this stamped pretty good. There's an image, there's more, there should be more there that didn't get on there. Must be the ink wasn't on there, but it won't look bad. We're gonna go with it. So this tray has this opening here. There's a little knob that goes on it, and then you can just dump it right back into your jar, just like this. And you can take your brush. Your brush is to get, you can use it in the tray or you can use it on your cardstock to get the flecks of powder where it's not supposed to be. Brush them off. So this is a really nice tool. I really like this. All right. We're done with that. I'll put the top on this. And what's really good is those dusting things. I'm trying to think of the name of them. They'll pick up all your embossing powder. Okay, so I'm going to take my tweezers. Well, I'm going to grab the heat gun. So, daisies per se aren't necessarily a fall flower, but mums are, and these look very much like mums. Chrysanthemums, there are some that are single flowered. We used to get them in all colors in the store. Yeah, it's so pretty when it turns. Okay, there's our pretty image. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is, I have a piece of ribbon. It's that vanilla gold. And I'm just going to run that across the front. There it is. And I'm going to make one of those little knots. Like that. I'm going to cut it like that. And I want my knot about there. I'm going to take the back of this. I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive where I want that ribbon to stick on each side. Maybe. Oh, good grief. Come on. There we go. All right. So we're going to lay this right here where I want it. And about there, I'm going to fold that over. Go straight across. Fold that over. Trim this a little bit. I've got ribbon sticking to me. All right, and we're going to lay that on the front of our card. Okay, and then come in and trim our ribbon tails. All right, and now I've die cut a pumpkin from the Distress Gold Designer Series paper. A pumpkin and a stem. And we're going to glue this stem to the pumpkin. Just like that. And then I have a vine out of the Blackberry Bliss Designer Series paper cardstock. We're going to put this on. And just hold it a minute. It'll take a little longer for it to adhere to this paper. All right, and I think I want it right there. I'm going to add some dimensionals. Remember the old days of pumpkin carving when you put a real candle in the pumpkin? Now they have all these little electric lights. And then you would leave it on the porch and it would be flickering. And if a strong wind came along, it would blow it right out. Melt the wax in the bottom so the candle would stick inside the pumpkin. Okay. Oops, we lack one here. All right, so here's that lovely fall card. And I've got a little bit of gold right there. I'll probably try to get that off, but there's that card. Now, the one I did previously, I put a sentiment on it. Happy birthday. You could do that. And so I hope you've enjoyed these cards. If you're interested in the measurements or ordering supplies, check out my blog, and I'll put a link to my blog in the comments below. And I will be on for Farm